This video examines the Supreme Court case of Mannasoft Tech Corp. Versus the Commissioner of Internal Revenue, GR number 244202, promulgated on July 10, 2023, by the 3rd Division with Associate Justice Japar B. Dima Ampao as ponente. We will provide a comprehensive examination of the factual background, covering the tax audit, the resulting deficiency assessments, and the significant service defects identified in the case. The Bureau of Internal Revenue audited Mannasoft for the 2008 calendar year. They issued a notice of informal conference, a preliminary assessment notice, and a formal assessment notice, assessing over 78.7 million pesos in taxes, including income tax, VAT, and expanded withholding tax. This table highlights the irregular service of these notices. The informal conference notice, preliminary assessment, and formal assessment were all served on unauthorized personnel, and the final warrant was found to be void ab initio. Following the issuance of the formal assessment notice in November 2011, Mannasoft protested and submitted documentation. Despite a pending protest, a warrant was issued in October 2012. After the Bureau denied their request for reinvestigation in 2013, the taxpayer filed a petition for review. The court addressed two key issues. First, whether the Court of Tax Appeals properly acquired jurisdiction based on the timeliness of the appeal, and second, whether the tax assessment notices were void due to failures in following service requirements. The first issue focuses on the Court of Tax Appeals jurisdiction, specifically analyzing remedies available under Section 228 of the National Internal Revenue Code, and the court's jurisdiction over other matters under Republic Act 9282. Under Section 228, a warrant issued during a pending protest is an implied denial. Taxpayers can either appeal that warrant immediately or wait for a final decision. Mannasoft awaited the final decision, and because they appealed timely, the court established it had jurisdiction. The second issue addresses strict due process rules regarding the personal service of assessment notices on corporate taxpayers. The law requires service on the taxpayer or their authorized representative. Serving lower-level staff is an incurable defect because they lack the authority to handle legal notices. Consequently, the notices served to an assistant and a security guard were declared void. The impact of this case is significant. The 78.7 million peso assessment was nullified. Under the doctrine that a void assessment bears no fruit, the violation of due process rendered the entire subsequent collection effort legally ineffective. In conclusion, the key rule affirmed by this case is that the personal service of tax assessment notices must be strictly performed on authorized corporate representatives to satisfy due process requirements. This video utilized source materials from vectizi.com for the visual elements presented.